Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's dive straight into today's first story, which comes from the r/offmychest subreddit from the PhD is terrible, and says, I defended my PhD yesterday and not one of my family and friends showed up, not even my fiance. I'll try to keep it brief. Yesterday, I defended my PhD in a STEM field at a highly prestigious program. Unlike many departments, my department's defenses are basically celebrations. You present for 1 hour to anyone who wants to come. Your PhD committee asks you a few questions, and then you drink champagne and celebrate. I created a Facebook event for it 3 weeks in advance. My immediate family and very closest of friends all said they could come. These included my best man as well as 2 people who were to give toasts at the wedding. My fiance was going to take work off to come as well. Then yesterday came. I knew 2 of my co-workers couldn't make it because they were out of the country, but I wasn't prepared for what happened. I presented to a nearly completely empty auditorium. Only my advisor, 2 committee members, and a few members of nearby lab showed. It was so incredibly embarrassing that I almost couldn't make it through my defense. After my defense, I looked at my phone. I only had 1 message from my mum saying my family wasn't going to make it on time because they left too late. I called my fiance twice with no answer. It wasn't until 10 PM last night that she called me back. It turned out that her best friend from college, who I've known to be quite selfish from previous situations, had tried to kill herself because she found out that her boyfriend had cheated on her. She knew my defense was yesterday but begged my fiance to visit her all day in the hospital. My fiance didn't even say congrats. No one else has called or texted to congratulate me since I defended yesterday. I barely held it together on my call with my fiance, but now I'm so upset I'm considering calling off the wedding, taking a job and never contacting any of these people again. I know I'm a horrible person for this, but my big day was completely fucking ruined by their inconsiderate actions. And then some of the comments were asking questions that would go through my head as well. So Ravenscroft said, so the parents weren't going to be on time, so they turned around and decided not to come at all, and didn't call or explain. That's so screwed up. Skyscan says, please tell everyone that no one showed up for your PhD defense. They probably all thought that everyone else showed up and they wouldn't be missed. Let them know that you celebrated with relatively unknown people. Let them know that you're disappointed and hurt. Communicating your feelings is the only way to resolve this. Don't whine. See what they say. Pink Terror says, congrats doctor, it's fantastic. I'm a PhD candidate at a STEM field at a highly prestigious program as well. Our defenses have champagnes too. I'm defending this August and would be absolutely crushed if my friends, family, or especially my fiance didn't come to listen to it. I don't think people realize how hard it is. My fiance and friends used to treat life as if I could just do anything anytime and his life, secure 9-to-5 job, was more important since mine is just school. My fiance's parents made a comment like, cruising through school, about my work. My dad often asked me, so what do you do with your day again? I wouldn't cut off everyone, but it would make me reconsider all my relationships. I'd probably dump my fiance though. It is something not being able to make it, but it is something else not calling or texting earlier, or saying congrats. Congrats again, and so jealous, can't wait to be done. Hugs. Anything says don't say anything, but at your wedding, read your defense and place to the best man toast, and then post about it in r/petty revenge. Edit and congrats on your defense. Portrait Bird says, I think it might be a good idea to talk to your fiance and tell her how she's made you feel. She may not have quite realized just how much this means to you. She may have been feeling lost and confused after her best friend tried to commit suicide. It was an impossible choice for her, I think. Her friend was, and likely still is, in a very delicate state. The smallest thing could set her off and cause her to try and kill herself again. All I can really say is that you should talk to your fiance and family/friends and tell them how they've hurt you. Maybe you can arrange a time where you can present your PhD defense just to them. I think overall it'd be better for you to talk to them and put all your cards on the table. That way you have a chance to reconcile with everyone. If you need someone to talk to or vent to, feel free to PM me or whatever. Congrats on your huge achievement. I'm working on getting into a nursing program at my school, and that's hard enough. I can't imagine going for a PhD. OP then quotes a section and says, "This is why I didn't burst with anger. I know that she was in an impossible position, but I'm still quite upset about it. I would not honestly be angry one bit if this were a one-time thing, but her friend has done things like this before, although nowhere near this extreme. She simply won't let anyone have the spotlight. Thank you for your kind words." Lacemaker says, "I'm on your side. My daughter defended her PhD in May. My husband and I flew down, rented a car, stayed with her. My brothers both came, her grandmother and aunt from my husband's side were there. We brought the champagne, enough for all of her co-workers and friends that also showed up. We then paid for a celebratory dinner for anyone who wanted to come. That's what family is supposed to do. We did it all again 3 weeks later when she walked at the commencement. You can call us. We'll take another doctor in the family." And before we move on, one more comment from Digital Psych, who says, "I would give it some time to mull over what happened. If the family and fiance don't try to make up for missing your event, you should reconsider your relationships with them, not cut everyone off. But look to see if there's a pattern of ignoring your desires. This just sounds like the worst thing that could happen in my opinion. It's possible that it was just one of those crazy coincidences." OP responded saying, "This is basically what I'm doing. I haven't addressed this with other replies, but I'm still pretty upset with my best man and the two who are supposedly going to toast at our wedding." So OP first updates with a series of edits, which says, "Thank you all so much. This means a lot. In reading your responses and generally calming down, I think I'll call my fiance and family." Edit 2, "I did not expect this to blow up so much as it did. Seriously, thank you for all your wonderful support. I'm taking today and maybe even tomorrow to just rest on this before I talk to my family and friends. You guys are giving great advice." Edit 3, "I'm heading out to dinner now, but I've decided I'm going to call tomorrow. I'll try to update you if anything gets resolved, or if it doesn't." Edit 4, "Holy crap, this has got a lot of replies. I'll update later today, but I wanted to address a few responses suggesting that either A, the situation is reflective of me not going to their special events, or B, that my family and friends aren't obligated to show." So A, yes, I have gone to and planned special functions for others. One of the friends who told me they would show up defended her PhD a few weeks ago, but from another group. I of course showed up to her defense. I also helped plan the happy hour afterwards. I also helped plan another invited friend's surprise birthday last year, which was huge because she turned 30. So while I understand why people might think that I'm expecting something or giving nothing to others, I just don't believe that is the case here. B, of course my family and friends aren't obligated to show. Had they said they couldn't come due to work etc, I wouldn't be upset. Had they ignored me, I probably would have just interpreted that as can't come and still would be okay. But my closest friends made it a point that they would be there, and they didn't show. That's what got me upset. Major update. This morning my fiance called me after I was more or less incommunicado all of yesterday. Because I had calmed down, we're able to have a rational discussion. It turns out there is a lot to the story that I was unaware of, because I'm a doofus. First things first, my fiance and I are just fine. She began the conversation with an apology. She explained that while she was in shock on Friday about her friend, she realized immediately after our call that she had completely ignored me and my defense all day. She knows me well, and she knew how upset and angry I was. She thought I had every right to be angry, but gave me a day to chill out. My fiance is now extremely pissed at her friend. Previously I had implied that her friend was extremely selfish, not only due to the previous actions, but also because she called my fiance and begged her to visit all day, even though she knew my defense was that day. Many criticized my feelings about this, and as of early this morning, I thought that was wrong to feel the way I did. I should have been a bit more sympathetic, but then my fiance told me what happened yesterday. For about 2 hours yesterday, my fiance visited her friend in the hospital again. Her friend was feeling a bit better, so my fiance began to ask about the cheating boyfriend in a bit more detail. It turns out that her friend did not find out about her boyfriend cheating on Friday. She actually found out the Saturday before, and she had actually suspected that her boyfriend was cheating months ago. That Saturday, he finally admitted it to her, after she saw him receive a Snapchat of a naked girl. Yet she did nothing about it because she didn't want to lose him. In other words, she lied to my fiance about when she found out he was cheating. What pissed my fiance off the most was that during this past week, my fiance and her friend talked twice over the phone. Neither time the friend even mentioned it. While I understand that she may have been bottling up her feelings or may have been embarrassed, her previous actions and things like engagement parties and dinner parties cast some doubt on this. Regardless of my feelings, my fiance is incredibly angry with her because she had all week to talk about this, to have her help her deal with this trauma. But she didn't. She waited until the exact most inconvenient time, in my fiance's words. Trust me, this wasn't spontaneous. She chose to have that reaction on that day. We are unsure as to what to do about my fiance's friend and the wedding. She is currently a bridesmaid, but maybe not anymore. About my family. Yesterday morning, my fiance called my immediate family and asked what happened. Sorry, but the answer is boring. It was just another case of my parents being incapable of getting anywhere on time. My fiance advised them not to call me yesterday because I was very upset. My family all texted me this morning and apologized profusely. They would have called me Friday night after my defense, but they honestly weren't sure if I wanted to talk to them about my friends. Also yesterday, my fiance called the closest of my friends that were invited. These friends, I know for sure, wouldn't lie to my fiance. Half of them forgot and were deeply mortified that they missed it. I'm told that they will call me later today. It turns out that my best man blacked out Thursday night after originally only going out to grab a beer, and the rest were a combination of something came up or I was sick. Although in one case the person was very clearly ill and anyone could tell from talking to him over the phone. So that is basically it. My fiance really pulled through in calling everyone. She didn't have to do that and I'm very lucky to have her. Before I start my job, we will have a real party that is sure to be fun. Thank you for all your support, kind words and even critical words. You guys rock. And I'm not sure if I said, but yeah, huge congratulations on the PhD OP. But I'm not sure how I feel after all those excuses at the end. It sort of felt bittersweet in the end. Let me know what you guys think about this story and let's move on to another one. And for this one, we're moving on to the Today I Messed Up subreddit from Ashley Doll, who says, Today I messed up by telling a dude we've been watching him for years. Obligatory, this didn't happen today, blah blah, and also I'm on mobile. Strap in suckers, come and revel in my awkwardness. So for literally years now, this dude has been running around about a 3 square mile in my area. The only reason I've ever noticed him was because of his flowing hair that gracefully blows behind him as he runs and the frequency that we saw him out. When he started, he was a little overweight, but dude is so committed that he literally runs in rainstorms wearing trash bags and is very fit now. So my fam and I are watching this guy's transformation happen, which is kind of exciting to me because I'm into fitness. Over the years, I would cheer him on, privately, whilst inside my car. I would be like, yes, you got this, my dude, in an attempt to make my kids laugh. It became a thing. It was, there's my dude, or man, I haven't seen my dude in a while, I hope he's okay. Or my sister would say, I saw my dude today. Kind of just an inside joke, but again, this for years and years. Even after seeing him all the time while driving, I never actually ran into him in person on my walks. That brings me to the Today I Messed Up portion of the post. I decided to go a different route recently. I look up and through the sunlight in the trees I see a glorious golden mane of hair. I think, holy shit, today's the day I meet my dude. He's getting closer now. I feel incredibly stupid. Why the fuck did this my dude thing even start again? He's closer now. He's much taller than I thought and that throws me off and I let him jog past. I think, fuck. I can't just not say anything, right? And guys, I really wish I didn't say shit. I really wish I went home and called my sister and fake fangirled over walking within inches of this mythical man with a hair. But I'm an idiot. So I turn and yell, excuse me, and he swishes his marvelous hair around, still jogging in place and just looks at me. I say, we've been watching you for years. And he's like, huh? And I say, we've been watching you, like he couldn't hear me or something, instead of what he really meant, which was probably, what the fuck? And he's still jogging like, what? And I stammer, we've been watching you run, I mean, me and my family, watching you run for years. You look great. Way to go, dude. And you guys, I gave him a fucking thumbs up, like a weird Xanaxed up soccer mom. He says, oh cool, thanks, and just kinda runs away. At this point, I feel kind of betrayed. Like he's basically a celebrity in my house and he just says cool. How dare he? Then it hit me how fucking awkward and creepy and fucked up what I said and how I said what I said. I tell my husband and he's like, wish you weren't so awkward, bud. I tell my kids and they're like, wow, mum. I tell my sister and she cries laughing because of how typical this is of me. To be so awkward, I mean. Like, I literally told her grandma, don't eat the baby, the other day at the store while she was nibbling on her grandkid's toes playfully. Like, what is my problem? Anyway, the main reason I'm even typing this, besides so you freaks that like to cringe at others' idiocy can read it, is that since I appeared to be some weird version of CIA/FBI/Illuminati/soccer mum to my dude, he has been nowhere to be found. I have not seen him running around at all, and I feel so bad that I may have possibly kinda weirded him out enough for him to change the entire area. He has been running for years, which is awful. So my dude, if you see this, I am so not watching you in any way other than to admire your hair and admire your dedication to fitness. I apologize profusely, and if I ever see you again, I promise I won't say shit. And to that grandma, if you're on Reddit, seriously, you shouldn't eat babies. I'm not apologizing for that shit. And we do have an update to this post as well, and I'm not sure if that guy's going to be any less weirded out if he saw this post, that you're still staring at his hair. And I love it how, you associate names like this. They come up with my dude for this guy, for the running guy, and they've got like little backstory, and he's like, people talk about him within the family. And you guys know what I'm like with the area that I used to live in, the characters that we used to associate with, or not even associate with, but we used to have nicknames for them. Like, you guys have heard the story of Swan Man, you may not have if you're new here. Quick little overview, a guy, he was this tall dude that used to wear like, they called Rasta caps. And there was a bridge, we used to play on this, in this park that was right next to a bridge that went over the river, obviously. And this swan flew into the bridge, it got caught by its neck and it was hanging there, and this man was like swinging below the bridge, picked up the swan, rescued the swan, and to us that day he became Swan Man. We used to see him time and time again and we'd like be whispering to each other, oh wow, look, it's Swan Man. And he was a local hero, but he didn't even know that. He probably still doesn't even know to this day. But I'm a big fan of that guy, he's still a hero to me. But I just couldn't imagine going up to him these days and going, we knew you when we was a kid, you're Swan Man. But OP came in with one update and said, today I told my mum about my previous post, made her read it, made her almost cease to exist from laughing so hard, and then she says, yeah, but that guy is pretty weird. I say, why'd you say that? And apparently, I am from a family of freakishly awkward individuals. You guys, my dad did the same shit as me, and he just forgot to tell me or my sister about it. Thanks, Dad, you're great. So he runs into my dude at the store and he was like, oh hey, I see you running all the time. You're looking great, keep it up. My dad was a coach, so he got this weird proud dad thing going on. My dude just kind of looks at him and says, thanks, and slowly backs away. The end. Just kidding. Then my mum proceeds to tell me she just saw my dude running. Please read the following in stereotypical mum voice. Oh my gosh. I just saw him running the other day. His shoes look so bad, I almost stopped. I wish I knew his shoe size so I could get him new shoes. Should I stop and ask him? Holy shit. Don't worry. I said don't fucking do that, mum. Jesus fucking figure it out. So now that I know I wasn't the first person to tell him that I've been watching him, I feel really bad. My family, ladies and gentlemen. And another update. How much worse can I get? First, I want to tell you all that I've truly had fun reading all of your stories, having you desperately want to be my friend, hearing what yous appreciate about me, having my possible Canadian heritage question, and most of all, having my phone ping every 10 seconds for 24 hours straight. Great execution, you're doing terrific. As for the update, I've been paying more attention than normal to the sidewalk while I'm driving in hopes of seeing that I hadn't completely obliterated my dude's ability to feel comfortable running on his route. I'm daydreaming about what I will do when I see him. Will I wave? Will I honk? Will I yell, how are you now? Into the wind as I drive gently blowing his hair as I pass. And holy shit, what if I'm walking when I see him next? Will my common sense just leak out of my ears completely? And holy shit, will I pull out my goddamn phone, open Reddit and grin at him? Will I then awkwardly offer to give him half of my internet gold? Will I make a joke about karma? Fucking probably. I hope not, but fucking probably. So tonight, my mum read my post out loud to my dad while I was on the phone with them. In case you were wondering, he also wishes I wasn't so fucking awkward, bud. But kind of his fault if you think about it. Guys, I know what you're thinking, and don't worry, she successfully censored my curse words, until about halfway through when she was having trouble breathing through laughter. Even then, she swore quietly. Bless her heart. Basically, she thinks I'm famous now, and I'm going to be on Good Morning America. But like, on a slow news day. Not like a good news day. Her words. She's a total mum. After she's done, I'm telling them some more of your comments about making shirts and all your ideas about how to get my dude's shoe size so that my mum, again bless her heart, can buy him shoes. Anything from using light sprinklings of salt on the pavement to force him to run through plaster of Paris were thrown out there. You're all a bunch of snipers. Suddenly my dad says, oh, by the way, I've seen him running recently. He's okay. And guys, in this moment, I'm so relieved that I didn't fuck up this dude's entire world up. I say, oh good. Where was he when you saw him? Same route? Outside of his house. Wait, you fucking know where he lives? Yeah, that one house on the street that is not in our neighborhood, but on a crossroad. I see him leave to run, and I see him get back home sometimes when I'm driving. Look at me, I'm Ashley's dad, and this totally isn't a big deal at all. Shut up, Dad, it totally fucking is. Holy fuck, I say. You just made it worse, my sister says. My mum is basically dead at this moment. Mum, you cannot buy him shoes and drop them at his house. She says, yeah, that would be awkward. So good news, he's still running. Bad news, we might actually be stalkers now. Update, my dad just called to let me know he saw my dude. He was walking, wearing a hat. We've never seen him in a hat, so my dad thinks it's my fault for posting about his luscious locks. His words, not mine. I hope he's wrong. Jesus Christ. I just wonder what the poor guy's thinking. You know, he's got two people who doesn't know are related around town asking him and telling him he's doing great at running and they've been watching him. It's like, must think he's on some sort of reality show or something. The Truman Show. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, support and time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you for being involved, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.